Hey guys, this is Tauna, and today we're going to be going over Jumpstart Avatar, discussing whether I think it's worth buying, going into it for both a new player and a veteran perspective as well. I'm going to be going through all the details that you can expect, not going through each packet individually because there is 40 plus different variations that you can potentially get, but overall what you can expect. And spoiler, this looks really awesome. There is some huge surprises in here as well, so make sure you watch the whole video too, because there's some stuff I did not expect at all. So side note, I've been trying to make this video. I put 3 times here. Since I've put 3 times, I've now had to do it another 2 times because I'm just in this huge mental dip with currently just a whole bunch of stresses going on and everything like that. And I know people are going to say, oh, don't try and do videos and stuff like that if you're not feeling up to it. I'm feeling up to it. I just am struggling a lot, and I like to be open about my mental health and stuff. Just been a bit quiet over the last few days. Just don't take that as me not excited for Avatar: The Last Airbender. I literally have a Zuko top on at the moment. This set just looks amazing, and I just can't wait to make more content for it. So I want to know what you guys want for content and everything. So what is Jumpstart? Jumpstart is an alternate game mode, game format for Magic the Gathering that comes with official boosters. Each of those boosters has 20 cards in them. You get 2 of them, you shuffle them together. That's your deck. You verse someone who's done the same, basically. They'll have a theme card within them that shows what that theme of that 20 card booster is. It'll be stuff like airbending, rebels, that kind of stuff. And the whole point is that you just have a deck ready to go easily. The packs, the 20 cards from that booster are they're set. However, they're chosen from over 40 plus different themes. Some of them are rarer. There's some mythic rarity Jumpstart boosters down to common ones, but overall there's a lot of different variation that you have from it. As for what you'll find in each one, as I said, will come with a theme. It'll come with creatures, non-creatures, etc. that fill that theme. With one exception, they'll also all be monocolored. So, they'll all be, you open it up, it'll be all white or all blue, etc. Except for one exception that I'll talk about later on, and hybrid mana, because hybrid mana, I'll talk about that in a second as well. You're going to get a mix of Jumpstart exclusive cards from the main Avatar: The Last Airbender set, reprints with new Avatar themed art, some basic lands, including one full art land in each of them, which is great, showing upper flying, and then the thriving lands as well, which help kind of mana fix you. So the new cards, as I said, there's a bunch of exclusive cards that are from this. Some are found within only one Jumpstart theme. So, the theme is literally called, say there's a theme called Aang, right? And it comes with a version of Aang that is only in that one Jumpstart theme. However, there's other ones, like there's a koala sheep, which, mind you, is not a bear, but it has the bear tag, that is found within most of the white ones. So, there's some that are common and some that are, not common in regards to even the new cards. There's legendary creatures that are exclusive here as well. A lot of legendary creatures that are exclusive, which I'll talk about in a sec, go through each colors ones, including 2 mythic exclusives per color. And then there's commons and uncommons that are relatively low power that are exclusive here too, and designed to be new player friendly. Now, when I say exclusive, it's exclusive with a little asterisk because they can be found within the collector boosters as well. And I believe they have the extended art versions or the foil art versions within those collector boosters that you won't find here. So, as for the reprints, as I said, there's a bunch of cards that are reprinted in here from previous Magic sets, before Avatar, with new art that's themed around Avatar that's stunning. And this Valorant Stance, I absolutely love it. It's such an amazing card. It's such an amazing art. It's really great. I just enjoy it so much. The moment when Zuko finally realizes, I'm going to go join the Avatar. I am done with you, Dad. You're just, a piece of shit. I'm out of here. It's just, it's stunning. And to see that on a card is just amazing. And, as I said about before, the hybrid mana stuff. So you can get a white booster, right? A white Jumpstart booster. However, it can have this Aang a lot to learn in it. That's because you can cast this for just 2 generic and then 1 white mana. So the generic mana, the hybrid mana just works really, really well in Jumpstart, and limited, sealed or draft overall, really, really well. I'm not going to talk about the potential commander changes here, but just keep in mind that if you do get this Aang here, he does need to go in a green or white commander deck, or he can lead just a mono white or mono green one. but you do still have the option of having both those colors in there because his color identity is technically green, white, or Slesnir as they call it. All right, so we're going to break down the colors just like Azul is breaking down here. But if you are looking after any of these cards that I'm going to show here, we are now an official affiliate with Manapool. They have one of the best optimizers in the industry, including optimizing for both best prices for cards or the least amount of packages to come to you. There's also, amazing prices. The staff there is great. I was talking to one of them the other day for a good, 45-minute call, and it was amazing. They're really, really nice. They make you can make a purchase and get a free gift for the next 30 days, like each day for the next 30 days. They've got native integration for Architect and more that you can sell your cards there. And overall, you can just support the channel while going there. They are US only at the moment, but hopefully we can expand it because I want them to come to Australia because they're just great. So there's a link down in the comments and description for it. So the white ones, we've got Airbending, we've got Rebels, and we've got Allies, and more. There's more themes than just the ones that I'm very briefly mentioning here. There's a lot of leaves the battlefield effect kind of effects, so leaving the battlefield. But there's also a combat focus with some flying based ones and stuff. So these are the exclusive legendaries. So I'm mostly talking about the legendaries that are exclusive here because beyond that you get into some uncommons and commons that are exclusive, but they're just not very noteworthy. So the Aang Airbending Master and the Sokka Sword Master are the two mythic ones that are exclusive here. So Aang has, you get to airbend, and then whenever a creature leaves the battlefield without dying of yours, you get experience counters, and then at the beginning of upkeep, you get to create allied creature tokens for experience counters, and then Sokka makes it so your equipments cost 1 less to cast for each ally you can control, and at the beginning of combat, you get to attach something to him. So those are the two mythic ones. I'm not going to go into detail on what all of these go, because there is a lot here. You can see them on the screen. You can pause it if you really want to, or you can go over to Scryfall to look at them. But what I'm getting at is there is a lot of exclusive legendaries within here that you can use for commander decks and stuff, which are great, right? And as I said, there's a couple of the dual mana, the hybrid mana ones with Aang a lot to learn here, and then Hey Bai does sacrifice and leaves the battlefield triggers there too. So these are just the white ones. There is some for each color, which is great. And these are the exclusive reprints here in Avatar flavor. So the Cloud Shift is a really sought after card. Duelist Heritage and Valorous Stance both have amazing art. The Acrobatic Leap, yeah, but it's good art still. I like it a lot. All right, into blue, we've got Spirits. There's a lot of Spirit stuff here. There's Card Draw, there's Lessons, and Spellslinger as well. Very, very blue, right? And these are the exclusives here. These Wan Shi Tong All-Knowing here is just flavorful, right? So it is a librarian. It cares about libraries, however, because it cares about you putting stuff back into your library. And or other people's libraries, when stuff goes back into libraries, you get to create tokens. It's just great. I love it so much. It's just really, really cool. So you've also got Katara there that does, whenever you cast spells on opponent's turns, get experience counters and stuff. Princess Yue, when she dies, she comes back as the moon. It's just amazing. I love it. It's just so much. And I really like that they did a Demir Katara, because at that stage, this is her hunting down the person who killed her mother. She is Demir, I think. She's still got that kind of, that white color identity in there potentially, so she could have been Esper, but I think Demir works as well. I just love it all. And then into the exclusive reprints here, Brainstorm with showing the solar eclipse when they go into the library and they see when the Black Sun invasion should happen and stuff. Just amazing. Just really, really great stuff. Right, into black, you've got Sacrifice, you've got Firebending, you've got some Disrupt, some Control stuff. There's a lot of aggro stuff here, or utilizing ways to sacrifice your creatures, or also controlling your opponents with discard, making them mill, etc. So the exclusive ones here are Azula, Ruthless Firebender, and Firelord Ozai. Both, care about Azula cares about you discarding and then opponents if they've discarded stuff. And then Firelord Ozai is sacrificing creatures during combat to get fire, get that red mana. So he doesn't have firebending himself, but he does have, when you attack, sacrifice something, get red mana equal to it. So it's really cool. You got Lo and Lee Royal Advisors over there that does stuff with Mill and it cares about advisors. Zuko Seeking Honor, who you'll see again later on in the black ones. You got that Katara that we talked about earlier. Sorry, in the red ones. Katara that we talked about earlier, and then Nyla, who exiles stuff, creates clues. You lose life, and then when you have no clues, you get to return something from that you exile back to your hand. And as I said about surprises, they reprinted Ko the Face Stealer from the main set, right? This is a main set mythic within the Avatar set. They have it in one of these Jumpstart boosters. It's just very, very interesting. Yeah, I really love this idea. You know, it means that the main set one's going to be easier to get because, you know, it's going to be cheaper if you're just picking up singles and stuff. And yeah, we've got that there too. So you can potentially get it within Jumpstart. All right. And then our reprints here, the Bastion of Remembrance, this actually, like, there's two cards here from reprints that actually make me tear up a little bit. The Bastion of Remembrance is one of them with Iroh remembering his son, and then you see about how, you know, all firebenders aren't bad, right? Like, you know, it's just amazing. I love it. Yeah, these are the thematic reprints there. All right. Into the red ones here, we've got firebending, we've got combat tricks, we've got combat overall. And these are the ones that are, you know, the new legendaries there. There is a lot here. Avatar Roku, who creates red mana whenever any players attack. And until end of combat, you don't lose that mana. And then you can pump stuff up. But it doesn't have to be your own stuff. You can pump up opponents' creatures as well. So you could use it as like a group hug, group slug kind of thing. You've got Zuko Firebending Master there, who firebends based off of the amount of experience counters, and then whenever you cast a spell during combat, you get experience counters. And then just a whole bunch of, like, you know, you've got a couple rebels here, you've got a couple bards that care about, like, non-creature spells or sagas and stuff, and then we've got that Zuko down there as well that cares about non-creature spells and dealing combat damage with him. And we can't forget about Iroh, right? Like Iroh, each creature you control with a counter on it gets firebending too, because he's teaching people to firebend. He has mentors, so he gets to pass out, you know, the +1/+1 counters. It's just amazing. I love it so much. There's just so much flavor in this set. I love it so much. All right, and as for, like, the red reprints here, we've got the Bolt Bend. We do have within the actual main set Redirect Lightning, which is very similar, except instead of paying 3 less, you can either pay 3 or lose some life to redirect something. But Bolt Bend is just amazingly flavorful, and the fact that, you know, Zuko and Iroh learnt it by watching the waterbenders, learning the ways of the waterbending is just amazing. We've got the Fiery Confluence, we've got Fists of Flame, Cathartic Reunion. This is the other one that makes me tear up, because when Zuko finally realizes that his dad is not, you know, blood is not necessarily the most important thing. I know that he ends up going to his uncle, but it's like, you know, his parents are fallible, and it's just amazing. I love it. It's just one of the most amazing pieces of literature that I've ever watched. Anyway, into green. I forgot to change the freaking text here, but this one just cares about lands. There is just so much lands and earthbending. There's some food stuff in here as well, but lands and earthbending and all that kind of stuff in here that's just really great. So as for, you know, the actual exclusive mythics, you got Toph, you've got Avatar Kyoshi. I was watching the most recent Spike Feeders video where they were playing Avatar decks, and Avatar Kyoshi put in absolute work. They had her out, then they copied her 2 times, and then each combat you had Earthbend 8 3 times. And, you know, that's what I'm saying about how there are decently strong cards within these packs, whether they're, you know, just within the packs, or, you know, you potentially pick up singles for them later. I think that there are cards to keep an eye out for here. And the Toph Earthbending Master as well. You get to Earthbend whenever you attack. Toph doesn't even have to attack. And then get those experience counters whenever you landfall. It's great. Cabbage Merchant. I already have an insanely pushed Cabbage Merchant deck. I actually have a Cabbage Merchant cosplay sitting here ready to go. I am insanely excited for Cabbage Merchant. Bosco and Just a Bear is just amazing as well. As for our reprints here, we've got Inspiring Call, we've got Many Parting showing the cabbage, the cabbage card exploding for the millionth time. We've got Explore, and then we've got Descendant's Path, and Descendant's Path is just phenomenal art. I love it so much. With Aang there, literally learning from creatures that share a creature type with him, which is what the whole card's about. It's just really, really great. All right. And as I said before, there is one multicolored Jumpstart pack. This is a 5-colored one that cares about shrines. So you've got Heibai here. Whenever Heibai enters, you're going to reveal cards from the top until you reveal a shrine. Put it onto the battlefield. Then shuffle. And you get to, make spirits based off of your legendary shrines, and it's just really cool. It features all the shrines from the main set in here as well. It's just a really great one. I really love it. I love that they did, that's what makes you think that, they cared about these, because they did something really cool, in my opinion. All right, so for new players, the analysis is that the Jumpstart is one of the best ways to start playing Magic. That's why I'll talk about the beginner box later on, but that's why the beginner box starts with 10 Jumpstart style packs. It's very simple. There's no deck building needed. You just grab 2 of these, you just shuffle them together. Boom, that's your deck. The cards, while relatively strong, some of them are very, very strong, are very straightforward as well. And it's just a great way as well to kickstart a commander deck. Say you get this Aang, you play with it, you get 20 cards that all work really well with this Aang, whether it's, you've got 7-ish lands, and then you've got the rest of the cards that work well with this Aang. They may not be the most powerful cards, but they are very straightforward and very simple, and can help you get an idea on how to start building a deck around him. It's just a good way to start playing overall, in my opinion, and it's really great for new players, whether they're, 7 like my son is, or whether they're, just starting out playing and they've, a bit older along the line. All right, and then for veterans, Jumpstart is a very, very fun way to play the game as well. So I'm saying that from 2 points of view. It can be simple and straightforward, but it can also be very fun, in my opinion. So purchasing it from a collection point of view, I don't think is the best idea, because, you're going to get a whole bunch of weaker chaff that isn't going to be crazy great or anything like that. But if you are chasing certain rares or mythics, they may end up rather expensive down the line. And if you get that chaff, you can make use of it potentially. Overall, I think that singles are better unless you're going to buy like a Jumpstart box, play a whole bunch of Jumpstart, and then as you're playing it, get the cards that you finished up with, and then just put them away in your collection or put them into your decks and stuff. Keep in mind, this is going to be reprinted for the next year or two. We're still getting Jumpstart 2025 reprints at the moment, so I would expect it to get reprinted for at least a year, maybe 2. And, some of the new cards and some of the new commanders from this, the legendary cards, are amazing. Now, keep in mind, this Azula, I will say, can go in a mono black deck as well. Just to keep in mind that the red that is within this reminder text does not count towards color identity. She is just black color identity. So, if you're building a deck around her, she is a mono black commander, or she can fleet into a mono black deck. As I said, these are most likely, in my opinion, the chase cards, Azula, because it's Azula. And then Avatar Kyoshi, just because she seems quite strong. Now, I said about some of them being quite expensive in the past. This is from Jumpstart 2025, the most expensive cards there. Scytheclaw Cub is just, really powerful and really expensive. And I think that there's some cards within here that are just as powerful and potentially going to be just as expensive. And then same with Rev. Rev does have that waifu tax, like I think Azula will. But, I just think that these are just for reference, that some may be quite expensive. Now, if you are, very, very new and you want to get into Jumpstart, get the beginner box first of all, get this, then buy some Jumpstart afterwards, because this comes with, as I said, 10 half decks. You get them in a nice box that comes with a whole bunch of stuff to kind of piece you through the game and everything like that. Then jump into Jumpstart after, I think, to start learning the game. But overall, the beginner box has that Jumpstart within it as well. They're all set Jumpstart. They're not random or anything like that. 2 of them are tutorial decks that will piece you through and step you through how to play the game. And then beyond that, you've got 8 other ones that you can play with, shuffle together and play. So, as I said about if you want to get singles, head on over to Mana Pool, pick them up from there, support the channel, etc. And if you are looking to build a deck from Avatar, you can, go over to our Ko-fi and support us there. All that money goes towards, helping me pay bills, helping me get to, conventions and stuff that are happening as well to meet you guys and, get the down low in person and stuff. We're potentially trying to go to like Las Vegas MagicCon next year, but that's a pipe dream for sure. But we'll see. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Let me know what you guys think as well. Have a great day and goodbye.